My name's Justin, and I'm making a game. So there might be a couple of questions that you're asking yourself right now if you're on this video and watching me. First is, why are you filming yourself in your dirty office? Well, because honestly, I don't care. This is my office. This is how I live. Not that I'm necessarily a messy person, but the office it gets that way. I've got a 3D printer back there, the FDM. I've got a resin printer over there. I paint miniatures, and it just gets dirty here in my workspace, and it just is that. The second question you might be asking yourself is, why does this person want to make a video game? The short answer is, I've always wanted to make a video game. And I'm not like one of those YouTubers that's like, oh, look at me, I'm gonna make a video game in a week. Brr. And then turns around and was like, "This is how much money I made for my first video game in 1 week." I'm actually trying to make like a full game. I'm a second or third year student at SNHU, which is kind of weird because being a digital student just means it's kind of hard to figure out what year you're in. This is like technically my first year as a student there. However, I only have 13 courses left to go, and I'm doing them 1 month at a time, and then I have my bachelor's. So I have a little over a year left. Uh, but yeah, so I just decided I wanted to finally make a video game, and this is kind of my devlog to do it. So let's get into the first thing that needs to happen, which is figuring out what kind of game I'm gonna make. So I decided to just try and kind of figure out what my top 10 favorite games were. And I'm just going to talk about them real quick in no particular order. First game that came to mind was Paragon OG before it became Predecessor. Predecessor is great, but I spent a lot of time playing this MOBA with my friends, and I had a lot of fun with it. I'm glad to kind of see it back. And I like the dynamic fluid motions of the game. It felt refreshing. It was a little slower paced than Smite. I didn't feel like I was going to die immediately. And it became a mainstay in my video game diet. The next game that I want to talk about is Enter the Gungeon, a really great top down roguelite game that had a bunch of silly fun weapons, had a medium high skill ceiling. I have not unlocked all of the characters for how many hours that I've put into this game, but I really enjoy this one, and it is an inspiring game for sure. Next game is going to be Gigantic, a game that also re-released recently under Rampage Edition through Gearbox, a game that I had plenty of fun with when it originally released and now play as Rampage Edition when time serves. Another decent MOBA-like game with good third-person movement and combat. Definitely a high skill ceiling there, but I like this game a lot. Next is going to be Alan Wake 2. I just found this game really well. There's actually two Remedy games on this list. Alan Wake 2, I think, was just like fantastic storytelling. I don't even want to get into the Sweet Baby debate that's going all around the internet right now because I think it's fucking stupid. This was a great game. Anyone that is not oh, it's only on the Epic Store weirdo should definitely pick this up and play it because it's a good continuation of the Alan Wake series. Speaking of the second Remedy game, Control, I think probably Control is like my all-time favorite game. I love the storytelling here. I love the atmosphere here. I like the third-person play. I think that the progression is good. I think Jesse Faden was a great character, all around written. Definitely had its weirdness, but it's definitely in my top 10. Next is The Last of Us Part 1. Part 2 was good, but Part 1 was definitely like the first time a video game made me feel something. And I respect the shit out of Naughty Dog for this game. Also, weirdly, another third person game. I'm starting to see a pattern here of games that I really like. After that is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, from Software's samurai game. Great game. Loved it. Played it Haven't beat it, but I find myself coming back to this game a lot, even though I suck at it. Um, I like the combat. It's fast, it's fluid, it feels good, and I feel like it's really rewarding when you get things done. Next on the list is the entire Kingdom Hearts series. Yeah, I'm one of those people. I love this game series. I love everything about it. I can't wait to find out more about Kingdom Hearts 4. I could sit here for a long time and talk about this, but I'm not going to do that to you. Moving on is Stardew Valley. This is just a nice, calming, cozy game. Pretty much anyone who's gamed has probably played this, and I just like the calming nature of this game and its ability to let you kind of play it your way between the mines, the farming, the fishing. You can do the quests for character relationships, make friends. You've got the little events. Just got a little bit of everything for everyone. And I think Concerned Ape did a really good job with this game. Finally is going to be Armored Core. The entire series, I like all of Armored Core. I'm a big hoe for mechs, and Fires of Rubicon was no exception. Great game, good third-person combat, and I felt like it was fluid, nice, and it was a really good next step in the Armored Core series. And I hope From Software keeps making it. So now the question is, what game am I going to make? So after taking you through the slog of my top 10 games, what kind of game am I making? Well, the answer to that question is I'm modeling it after a game that's not even on my top 10 list. Um, it's a game like Enter the Gungeon. It is a roguelike, and instead of drawing this out any further, the game is Risk of Rain 2. It's a game that I've spent a lot of time with, a game that I really enjoy playing, a game that I've played a lot with my friends and my wife, and I feel like it's a good game to model a first game after, um, without having to give myself too much to do to get to a minimum viable product. And so now, in the process of development, I have to figure out what exactly do I want the end product to look like. And I am a fan of a lot of different media. A recent genre of media I've come to realize that I quite enjoy is something called New Weird, and that is going to be something that is just like Alan Wake 2 or Control. Um, it's kind of taking things that we know and flipping them on their heads. It's asking a lot of questions, but not getting a lot of answers. It is derived from the H.P. Lovecraft kind of Cthulhu mythos, minus the racism, and it it makes the person who's like playing or reading the content ask more questions than are probably really going to be answered. So I really like New Weird. Um, I'm also a fan of cryptids. I love cryptids, like anything, the Squonk, the Jersey Devil, um, you name it. I'm probably know about it. The Fresno, um, what are they? Fresno Walkers. They're good fun. And they're mythical creatures. And they invoke questions, kind of like New Weird does. I'm also a big fan of Gravity Falls. That's probably cliche. Everyone who's ever watched it, I've never met anyone that's like Gravity Falls is poo poo. Um, and I just kind of like the mystery, the build up, and that. And so I recently rewatched Gravity Falls, and one of the things that I really, really liked about this show was the last four episodes, which is Weird Mageddon, when Bill gets into the physical universe of Gravity Falls and tries to take over the world. And things just kind of go sideways all over the place. Nightmares become real. People have arms on their heads. There are all sorts of just like crazy things happening. And I think that's the theme that I want for my game. Editor, me jumping in here real quick. I realized that I said I'm a fan of a lot of media, and then I proceeded to talk about literally three things that all are within the same genre of like idea. You've got New Weird, you've got Cryptids, and you've got Gravity Falls. I like a lot more than that. I am into Warhammer. One of my favorite board games of all time is Kingdom Death Monster. If you're young and watching this, please do not look up that game. I would feel awful if you did that. Um, I've read a lot of different comics outside of like the superhero scope. I am a person that is suffering deeply from Marvel fatigue right now. Like I every time I see a Marvel movie come out, I kind of just want to puke. And some people are going to be like, wow, what a pretentious piece of shit, but you know, that's me. It just is what it is. um I am a fan of the Alien franchise. I like all of the movies except for 3. Not a fan of 3. I think that movie is silly. um I like the movie Awaken. I think the implications of language holding an entire um, moment of time is a very interesting idea. Um, I like action movies. You know, John Wick was really good. Matrix, good. I really like sci-fi. Um, let's see what else. Lord of the Rings. I like the new Rings of Power series that Amazon's putting out. A lot of people don't like that. Um, I've got 2 Star Wars tattoos. All of that happened way before the new series stuff came out. The Mandalorian came out. Not to be like, oh, I'm a gatekeeper, but there's like a lot of like the Acolyte has like all this controversy, and I just I like what I like, and I'm unapologetic for that. Um, Obviously, Lord of the Rings, the original trilogy. There's a series called The Sword of Truth that I introduced my wife to that I really enjoy. You know, um, I play a lot of TTRPGs. I played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons 3.5. I'm currently, or I was currently running a game in Pathfinder Second Edition because I find Wizards of the Coast's business models recently very like nasty and predatory. So I've stopped supporting them as a consumer. I'm not going to do anything, as one single person, but that's just me. Um, and I've got Lancer sitting on my bookshelf. I've got Break, which is all caps, 3 exclamation points if you're interested in it, which is kind of like an anime inspired TTRPG. I've got the new Free League Electric State TTRPG coming to me that just got shipped today, and Garbage and Glory by Wet Ink Games. I have that on Kickstarter right now as well, and I'm waiting for that to get to me. Um, but with all of that said, yeah, I like a lot of different media. My game's gonna take influence from a lot of that, but my core is definitely gonna be those 3 things: cryptids, new weird, Gravity Falls. And now I have to figure out how to incorporate that within the framework of Risk of Rain 2. And in my next video, I'm going to start getting into the early foundational elements that I need for that, as opposed to like the themes and things like that. Artwork's going to come later. I want to make sure that my game has a good foundation, has a good, um, has a good foundation for building off of. I know I need to make a few things to start. I know that I need to get the player character, the movement. I need to get the shooting. I need to get a basic AI running. And I know I need to make an inventory. So in my next video, I'm going to start showing some of those things, and talking about the difficulties that I've had in just the foundational part of building this game. So if you liked what you see, you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. You know, look forward to making the next video. I mean, really, this is just for me, but if you're enjoying it and you want to see more of it, just subscribe. And I will be trying to put these out, probably not regularly, but as often as I can. So until next time, I don't know, stay weird.